Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagem. Okay, so I have a new success story from Paris. One of my viewers was very successful in Paris, and she left with two bags, one being a Quota bag, obviously an exotic Birkin, and the other was a very desirable non-Quota bag in a color that many of you like, in a really nice neutral color. Okay, so this actually happened in November, so this is very recent. So yeah, congratulations to my viewer and thank you for sharing the information with me. Let's just get straight into it, honey. We have a lot to get through. So I'm going to just explain what her bait was, and then we're going to talk about her situation, because it was a very unique situation, I think. She arrives on a weekend and she buys a prêt-à-porter blouse, and then she goes to one of the Parisian stores again on Monday, a different boutique from where she purchased the blouse, and she buys some washcloths. She buys 3 of them. She also buys a homewares platter, and then she also gets another platter, so she gets 2 of those. Then she goes on, then she goes, that same day, she goes to another boutique in Paris, and she picks up a fine jewelry ring. This fine jewelry ring is 1,550 euro, and then she also picks up another ring which is like just under 2,000 euro. She also picks up some twillies. She gets a bag insert as well, and when she did this final haul, that is when she got the offers. So I think the twillies and the bag insert came after her offers. So she got offered an exotic Birkin, and she got offered a really nice non-Quota bag in a very popular neutral color that many of you like. So she got 2 bags, one Quota bag, one non-Quota bag. She was actually told that she could actually get more bags as well, like non-Quota bags as well. She was told, like, if she's interested she could get more. So yeah, here we go. Okay, now in terms of the ratio, I kind of worked out the ratio for this. The ratio for this is about 0.4 to 1, but in exotic pricing, because obviously the Birkin, I feel like it's only relevant for Paris to work out the ratio for the Quota bags. But yeah, so it was 0.4 to 1. For the exotic Birkin. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this so far. We have a lot that we need to chat about, but before we go into a lot of detail, you guys still aren't subscribing. Please subscribe to my channel, hit notifications. It's really important, so that you don't miss my videos, especially during Vlogmas. You don't want to miss anything. And also go follow me everywhere below. That's where I'm at. So I'd love to see you guys there on my newsletter and in my Facebook group, and also on my Instagram as well. Okay, so first of all, salute to you, babe. Happy for you. I'm really, really happy for her, because it came together beautifully. This was executed in a weekend, honey, because she got there on the weekend where she bought the prêt-à-porter blouse, and then she did shopping in one boutique on that Monday, and then she goes to another boutique and buys other bits and bobs and buys the fine jewelry, and then she gets the offers. Okay, so there are a few things that we need to kind of note and mention here, which is really important. First of all, when she went to the boutique where she ended up getting the offer, there was some problems with registering basically her email for the lottery. So she did get a chance to explain that to someone in the leather department at this boutique and say, hey, you know, I've been trying and stuff and it hasn't been working. And that did help, but at the end of the day, she was expected to show loyalty. Up until that point, on that weekend, she'd already bought a ready-to-wear blouse, and she'd already bought a bunch of homewares at the other store. So when she went to this other final store where she bought the 2 pieces of fine jewelry, because she bought 2 fine jewelry rings, she had already started creating a profile, and she already had a few purchases under her belt. One of the biggest questions I get about Paris from you guys is, it doesn't matter, you know, my friend went there and she picked up a twilly and stuff. It literally never happened to anyone. I think it's happened to one of you. One of you literally bought like nothing, literally nothing, like zero. And that's one person out of literally the dozens and dozens and dozens of you who I speak to like every month, who are either going to Paris and who have just come back from Paris. Like, it never happens like you not showing any loyalty. At the end of the day, you're going to Big H, you like luxury fashion, you are going to end up buying stuff. So I think it's more powerful if you just accept this reality, if you're going to go to Paris to play the Paris game. I do find it quite odd that people say they love Big H so much, but they don't want to purchase anything from Big H unless it's a Birkin, Kelly or Constance. I personally find that incredibly odd. And strange, if you ask me. So yeah, very happy for her purchases and her successes. Obviously, an exotic Birkin and a desirable non-quota bag in a neutral color. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, oh, it's easier to get an exotic bag in Paris. I mean, it depends. That's not completely true. I know a few people, many people in fact, who have asked for exotics and haven't been offered them, and have been told, no, we don't have any. So it's not a guarantee. I think that, like I said, there's this idea like, oh, if you just walk in there and ask one, they'll give you one. No, not necessarily. I also saw in this other group, someone asked for an exotic quota bag and was tested with like an exotic non-quota bag. let me tell you something, okay? If I tell the SA I'd like to buy an exotic Constance, Birkin or Kelly, and they come out with an exotic Picotin, okay, I'm going to be triggered. Okay, so it's not a guarantee. I think also the fact that there was like a problem with her registering her email, and the fact that she was able to explain that to someone who listened to her. Some of you who have been in Paris in the past 2 weeks have told me that they don't even want to like listen to you when you ask and you explain like, oh, can I just explain? They're like, no. Try online kind of thing. So I think that also helped her as well. The fact that there was someone who was like, okay, really, you've been trying, and then saw that she'd been trying to register and there was like a problem with her trying to register her email. So they were like a little bit more helpful. Another thing is that Monday when she went to the boutique, to the other boutique where she picked up some of these other items. So basically in the morning, she goes to one of the boutiques. This is the boutique where she does not score. She did ask for like leather appointments or whatever, and she did follow up, but she was not successful in the store. This is where she purchased the homewares and the washcloth. She did end up speaking to one SA, but she felt like that SA wasn't like trying to help and didn't seem particularly interested in her or her wishes or the things that she was looking for. So she did get a chance in the other store to say, hey, I'm looking for this BKC and I'm looking for this and this and this, but the other SA didn't really seem particularly energized or interested in wanting to help her. But when she went to this other boutique on the same day, on Monday, she, like I said, picked up the fine jewelry. She picked up 2 rings, one fine jewelry ring and then another fine jewelry ring. And then she was able to explain to that SA, after explaining to the leather desk about the issue that she was having with her email, she was able then to basically, after making the purchases, be like, this is my wish and these are the things that I'm looking for. So she was given that opportunity. So there is some serendipity here as well. She definitely played the game beautifully, and she did exactly what she needed to do. She showed loyalty, she purchased homewear, she purchased prêt-à-porter, and she purchased fine jewelry. There's no question in my heart that the most important purchases in terms of loyalty here were the 2 fine jewelry rings and the prêt-à-porter blouse. But the fact that she was able to calmly and nicely explain the issue that she was having with signing up on the lottery, that's really good as well. But also the fact that there was an SA who wanted to listen and be like, oh, okay, there's a problem with your email. Well, what are you looking for again? Okay, fine, let's keep shopping. Do you see anything else you like? Keep picking out items at the end of the day. And then she got her very beautiful offer. So I'm very, very happy for her. I would love to know what you guys think about this Paris bait list. This is a record Paris success story, literally in a weekend. Like if we take away Sunday, she did this in 2 days. very impressive. I'm very, very impressed. Normally, when you show loyalty in Paris, it takes a few days to churn the offer. Like, it takes time, the essay, you have to like try and get them to help you and all this, but it happened for her very quickly. So I'm very happy for her. So obviously, it goes without saying, she never won the lottery, and she succeeded outside of the lottery. I think the majority of people who are succeeding at the moment, and definitely this year, definitely those of you who are Glamazon Tani with a Z and who contact me, most of you are succeeding outside of the lottery. If you're heading to Paris or you're planning a trip there very soon, I personally would not put any stock into the lottery. I'm definitely not doing it. For me, I'll be there. I'm pretty much just waiting for my paperwork now, but I should be there very soon, probably in January. I'm not going to be worrying about the lottery. I'll do it just to do it, but it's not like, oh, you know, I'm going to be necessarily worrying about it, because I feel like there are just so many people. There's so many people competing for these bags at the moment. It's so hard to stand out amongst the competition, because everyone is trying to buy these handbags. So they don't really have to sell you the bag. And I know that sounds so crazy. You're like, oh my God, it's a shop. They have to sell it to me. Big H and her wig, honey, the ponytail and the orange stallion is like, girl, bye. I don't have to sell you anything, you know, if I don't want to, okay? So nothing has really changed in terms of what I can see. The only thing is that it is getting tough at the other two stores. So the Sevra Boutique and George Sank, they're getting very competitive. I feel like in summer and spring, summer, like Sevra and George Sank, you could like churn an offer there without an appointment, and you could just go there and kind of plead your case kind of thing and explain and whatever. But to be honest, like this autumn winter, it's getting difficult there from after chatting to you guys. And even for me, I'm kind of like modifying my strategy for January, because I'm like, oh, you know, when it's my turn to go, like I really hope that I can make something happen. But to be honest, like George Sank and Sevra are getting very, very, very competitive. I think, like I said before, I think if you're going to Paris, you should go there to show loyalty. I don't think it's, me personally, if you ask me, and I'm not saying this to get rid of competition, I promise it's not like that at all, because I don't like the gatekeeping around this brand, particularly around the Paris shenanigans. But I think it's really important, like if you are going, get ready to show loyalty. It's probably not worth going there if you're not going to show any loyalty at the boutique, if you ask me, just because it's so stressful and it's so time consuming shopping at the 3 Parisian stores. The advice is pretty much the same as usual. Keep your spend to one boutique, because in Paris it's like really about the loyalty shown to one store. And also I think just get ready to really like try and make things happen. And I think another thing is make sure that you find things to buy to build your loyalty profile with. Some of you who've been there have said, oh, you know, it doesn't really seem like they have much, seems like stock is low. I feel like the stock is low thing is a test. I don't, me personally, this is what I think. I'll see what happens in January when I go, whatever. But I feel like the stock is low line is a test. I think if you're going there to buy fine jewelry and diamonds and bait watches, you're going to find lots of options for yourself. I think if you're going there to look for shoes, to look for silks, look for twillies, yeah, that stock is going to be low, because it's very popular. They don't really, I feel like for them, they don't really necessarily like want to necessarily sell it that much in Paris, because they don't want to have too many people who just want to buy those things. They want you guys to purchase other bits and bobs as well. And I think also some of you had said to me like, oh, you know, when we go there, there's like no fine jewelry stock, there's none of this. Make sure that you ask for it as well. That's like a tip that I have. And this goes for any place. So for example, even Louis Vuitton or even Dior or Chanel, if you see fine jewelry that you like and you're like, hey, show me your fine jewelry, and they show you something, sometimes the SA will show you what they think you like. So sometimes the SA will make a judgment like, oh, Kagem looks like she's like this, you know, she's wearing this, for example, here I'm wearing my Swarovski crystal ring, she's wearing this big Swarovski crystal ring, maybe I'll show her this. Well, maybe I want you to show me the Collier de Chien line, or I want you to show me the Ariane line. Show me those things instead. So don't forget to ask for things in terms of fine jewelry and diamonds. Another thing I think if you're heading to Paris is don't just rely on Prêt-à-Porter. One of the things I really like about this bait list is the fact that she had ready to wear, she had fine jewelry, and she had homewares. That's good. You really need to buy fine jewelry and timepieces. Those need to be the anchor of your Paris loyalty. I think it's super important, because ready to wear is good and everything, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I feel like gold fine jewelry with diamonds and the timepieces with diamonds and the really the pricier timepieces, I feel like those are the things that are going to make it easier for you to like basically build a strong loyalty profile so that you can try and get an offer outside of the lottery. If you can get a lottery appointment, good for you, honey. We are happy for you, boo-boo, but it's very, very, very rare to get a lottery appointment. Most people at the moment are not scoring on the lottery. Most people are scoring outside of the lottery, okay? So I hope that you have learned from this bait list. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me below. Don't forget to like this video, please subscribe and hit notifications. I have a lot of other bait lists coming from other parts of the world. I love this bait list. I'm so happy for her. But you know what, honey? Let me tell you something. She told me she was going to Paris. I was not worried about her. I knew she was going to make it happen. And when she succeeded, I was like, girl, I told you, honey, because I knew she was going to be I knew she was going to be successful because she's very, very, very serious. So I'm very happy for her. It's a great offer. You know, an exotic Birkin and a desirable non-quota bag in a neutral color. Those are two really, really great offers. At this point, you know how I say like quota bags are offers, but non-quota bags now have become offers. So, you know, very, very, very happy for her. I think it's gone very well. One of you left a comment in one of my previous videos and you told me about something you had heard on the rumor mill about only getting one bag a year from Paris. I hope this bait list has shown that that is not correct, in my opinion. People are getting, and don't forget, she was even told she can add more non-quota offers to her like offers. Basically, she was told, like, you know, you can buy more. So that whole thing of you can only buy one non-quota bag or whatever, I don't think that is fully accurate. I think this is a loyalty thing, honey, and I think it is a profile thing. Like the way your profile looks, if you have a healthy looking profile with a lot of loyalty, all of a sudden that mini Ruli is like, hey. All of a sudden the Cinetic is like, hey girl. You know, and the Vru is like, the Vru puts her wig on like, hey. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily believe that. I think if you go and show loyalty, you're definitely going to get your picks of multiple non-quota bags. So I think it's worth mentioning that as well. I really hope that you have liked this video, and yeah, tell me what you think about this Paris bait list. Wow, an exotic Birkin and a really desirable non-quota bag. The non-quota bag wasn't exotic, it was just in one of their standard leathers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next video.